Hi, Derek here, and this is part 3 of our traffic crash course as I get you thinking about traffic the right way. Because if you're not thinking about traffic the right way, you're gonna lose a whole ton of money and a whole ton of time, and you're gonna be disappointed in the results you get. So I'm getting you thinking about traffic the right way. All right, so in the first video, we talked about what's the right type of traffic that's targeted. And if you missed the previous lessons, you can go back to them. There's links to those in the description below this video. We talked about targeted traffic, and then we talked about where's the best place for you to get targeted traffic. We talked about that in the last lesson. Now, in this lesson, I want to talk about the ongoing debate of free traffic versus paid traffic. When I'm doing a live event, I always laugh when I ask the audience, what's the best source of traffic, free or paid? And inevitably, a large portion of the audience puts up their hand and goes, free! And I go, you cheap bastards. And look, the fact of the matter is I love free traffic as much as the next guy because it's free. But look, free is always a bit of a misnomer because, there is time and effort even to get free traffic. But when I talk about free traffic, I'm talking about sources like Google or organic sort of social stuff like that versus paid traffic where you go out and you pay to place an ad, and you're either going to pay for that ad to be there in maybe a CPM model, or you're going to pay every time somebody clicks on that ad, right? So you've got free, you've got paid. Which is the best? The question I would pose to you is, do you really have any control over something that you get for free? Right now, I can't see you, but I imagine you're going, no, you don't. And see, therein lies the problem with free traffic. You don't have control. And don't get me wrong, I love free traffic. Why? Because I'm as cheap as the next guy. And I mean, look, if you can get organic traffic from Google, it can be some of the best high value traffic. I love organic traffic from Google. And it takes a lot of time and effort to get there, and to call it free is a bit misleading because you got to build to get there. But I love that kind of traffic. But again, as anybody who's done SEO or relied on any source of free traffic for any period of time knows that things change. And when you're not paying, if it changes and you lose that free source of traffic, there's no recourse. There's nothing you can do about it. You are left with no traffic. I'm not saying don't work to get free traffic because there are valuable sources. And look, if you're starting out on a budget and you don't have the budget for paid traffic, no worries. Start with free. That's fine. But if you truly want to build reliable, predictable, scalable traffic and a business that you can sleep at night knowing that it's going to continue to scale, you need to master paid traffic. Buying traffic from sources like AdWords, from sources like Facebook, from native advertising, solo ads, stuff like that. You need to master that. Now, this is the big paradigm shift that is about to take place in your brain. Because when I talk about paid traffic with people that are getting started, all too often, the very first question I get is, okay, how much do I need to budget? The answer is, that's the wrong question to ask. It's not about budget. Because look, if you're watching this video, I assume you're a small business online. You're an entrepreneur. You're bootstrapping this yourself. You're not a marketing executive at Nike or Walmart or Nestle or something like that. I mean, if you are, congratulations, great to have you here, but you're probably not. And so, because we're not a big company, we don't go out there and place ads and brand, effectively throw money out there at ads, hoping that the next time somebody goes to the store or has to make a buying decision, they remember our product and they trust our product more than the competitors, okay? That's what big businesses do that have multi-million-dollar marketing budgets. But for the average small guy getting started or running their online business, that's not the right way to do paid advertising. Most businesses, small guys like us, we practice what is in the marketing world called direct response marketing. And what direct response marketing is it's a style of marketing that when you invest in an ad, when you invest in marketing, your goal is to make a reliable, predictable, measurable return in the shortest time possible. And look, direct response marketing is not new. Direct response marketing has been around now for probably close to a century. And before the internet, direct response marketing was things like sending out catalogs or sending out postcards and advertisements and specific things where a direct mail where somebody would go out and they would buy an ad, maybe in a newspaper, or send out a direct mail piece, and they would say, okay, I want this to go out to 10,000 people. And they knew when they would send that out to 10,000 people, it would cost them X amount of dollars in marketing. But they knew that once they did that, they would make back way more than they invested in the marketing. So this is the paradigm shift. This is the same thing we do online. When I go to Facebook or Google or any of the native ad platforms, I don't go out there and just say, here's $1,000, show it to whoever. I go there with the intention of having my ads shown to people who are actively engaged and interested in what I have, targeted potential people. And so my goal is to get an immediate or as quickly as possible a return on my advertising spend. So think of it this way. If I could show you a place where you could go right now and you could invest $1 in advertising and know with a high degree of certainty that sometime in the next 7 days, that $1 invested was going to yield a $2 return. So invest $1 today, and sometime in the next 7 days, that's going to give you back $2. Now let me ask you, how often, if you had a way to invest $1, make back $2, how often should you invest that $1? The answer is often as you can, right? This is what we are doing. When we buy traffic, our goal is to go out with our best offers, our best funnels, and to buy traffic to that. And when we spend money on traffic, we don't hope that it's going to make money. We want to know that it's going to return a positive ROI in the shortest time possible. This, I know, opens up many more questions. One of the common questions, okay, if I invest $1, how long before I get it back? And again, the answer there is it depends. But when we're starting out, when I go out and I buy advertising, I never want to have to wait 6, 7, 8 months before I'm seeing an ROI. When you're first starting out, you want to get that time period down as short as possible. But earlier on, I talked about budget, right? Because people always ask me, well, what's my budget? Think about it for a sec. If you can invest $1 and get $2 back in the next 7 days, it's not about budget per se. Rather, it's about cash flow. How long can you wait before you get that money back? Now, if you're just starting out on a budget, you're going to want to get that money back a little bit sooner. So you're going to have to limit how much you spend on the ads. You can't afford to be as aggressive. But as you build cash flow and reserves in your business, you can afford to spend more on advertising and be more aggressive, and you can afford to wait a little longer before you get that ROI back. Budget doesn't really matter. What it comes down to with paid media and paid advertising is you need to go out and you need to find sources of traffic where you can buy visitors to your website and know with a high degree of certainty that you're going to make money from those visitors that turns into a profit in X period of time. And you just need to manage the cash flow to make sure that you can continue to do that before you start making a profit. And the bigger your business gets, the longer you can wait. And that's why big companies or companies that go out and seek, venture capital investors, they'll do that in many times so that they can afford to go in and spend more than the competitors to buy the advertising to own that market. And they're not worried about making money in the next week. They're happy if they make it in the next year. Here's the good news though. There's lots of ways to use Facebook, to use Google, to use native, stuff like that, where you can make almost an immediate ROI, an immediate profit. Maybe it takes you a few days, maybe it takes you a few weeks. but you don't have to wait months. And again, the more successful you are at this, the more you can spend on ads. The fact of the matter is, and this is an important thing to remember, whichever company in a given market can afford to spend the most money on ads to acquire ads is going to own that market. Why? Because every single ad platform that exists on the internet today is based on an auction-based system, meaning whoever can spend the most is going to have their ads come up first. They get to buy the inventory. If you can't afford to spend as much as the guy that's up here, your ads aren't going to run. That's why, and this is a whole other video series, and I'm going down a bit of a rabbit hole, but that's why you'll always hear me talk about maximizing lifetime value, working on average order value, selling to customers over and over and over again. Because if you're in a business where all you sell is a single pencil, I can tell you the guy that also sells the pencil but then upsells the pen is going to have a much higher AOV. He's going to have a higher lifetime value, more profit that he can invest to spend on ads and bury you. That's a whole other conversation to have though. The message I want to take away from this is paid traffic is the key to reliable, predictable, scalable revenue online. And it's not about budget. You are a direct response marketer, meaning you are looking for sources of traffic that you can drive to your sales funnels and turn those into a profit in the shortest time possible. And once you've done this and you know that you can invest here and have a profit by there, you want to invest as much as you can in that traffic to grow your business. I hope this series has clarified traffic for you. Again, I'm not teaching you how to run a Facebook ad or Google or stuff like that. That's not what this is about. This is setting a foundation in your brain to make sure you think about the traffic the right way. And once you build your traffic campaigns on the platform, the foundation of knowledge I've just given you, you're going to be far more successful. And if you missed video number 1 and number 2 in this series, the links to those are below the videos. Go check those out. I hope you guys learned something. And if you did, please like my videos, leave a comment, say hello, tell me what you learned. And while you're at it, why don't you subscribe to the channel? So there you go. Thanks for being here. And I hope I see you in our future YouTube lessons.